We're a long way from home, haven't seen you in so long, but it all came back in one moment.
Itcher's back!
Yeah, welcome back to the Pop Culture Chill Out with Jason Blom and his co-host Damien.
Why do you put my full name in every single time? Damien was complaining a couple of weeks because we watched the rugby together. He's been complaining.
I've been complaining
about how I've been winding you up and
if you go back to our rugby podcast,
I forgot that you shout during it when you talk on podcast.
Our rugby podcast from week 1, both you and Jack were certain Scotland and South Africa would top the group, and just putting it out there, I said Ireland would finish top, and they did. So pleased as punch.
Yep. Apparently you win the World Cup in the group stages.
Apparently so, according to you.
Told Japan that.
Yeah.
So we've had a bit of to and froing. He's been very upset with me over a number of banterous things that I've done for him today.
Yeah.
It's a bit sensitive today, aren't you?
We've had a bit of a domestic.
Yeah. How many more domestics can we have in the space of
I'm
that?
sure
That is the question. That is the question. Anyway, let's get cracking. So you've been wearing the lederhose and getting
yes.
all Germaned up. I didn't ask you any questions about it because I wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth. Yeah. How was it?
Very good. I enjoyed it. This is a very short weekend. So I left my flat 3 in the morning, got a cab, flew at 7, landed in Munich at 10, and then was at Oktoberfest, I think, by 12. And
nice.
Then was there pretty much. It's a long day. And then shout out to my friend Max for putting me up for the weekend. And then he gave us a tour of Munich, which is lovely. So on the next day, do you know? Did you meet Harry Kane? didn't meet Harry Kane. No, I did see the Munich shop. No, I have to say, when you go on like those weekends, I'd highly recommend it. It does seem like a pain, like going on a random weekend and then being back for work the next day. I'd highly recommend just doing it because you do feel like you get the most out of the weekend. Felt like I was away for a couple of days, not one night. So definitely go to Oktoberfest. It's brilliant, great fun.
I didn't, but I'm going to sing Blink-182 on Thursday.
Oh yeah,
which you know that I'm.
I booked.
Which you know that I know that you know that you're going to.
Is this where we pretend like we haven't had this conversation?
Exactly. Yeah. But I've been a lifelong fan of the band. I am of that kind of age, which I don't really have the disposition of being into someone like Taylor Swift, but someone like Blink-182 would probably be a bit more of a normal.
On the next podcast, we're doing a review of her Eras Tour movie. Jason and I are going to go and see her.
I had this weird thing on it.
Concert.
What is the Eras Tour movie?
It's her.
Yeah, what platform is it on?
It's going to be in the cinemas. It's getting a wide release.
No, but isn't there something on one of the streaming sites?
No, there's a documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, so Netflix stopped me in my tracks and went, "Do you like Taylor Swift?" I went, "No." Then it asked me another question. And I was like, get out of here! I don't want to be in this.
Disney also have a Taylor Swift documentary.
Okay.
So no, the Eras Tour.
That's what capitalism does to you.
Eras Tour. They filmed the North American leg, and I think for all the people who haven't got tickets, can watch it in the cinema.
So you've turned my Blink-182 chat into.
You started the Taylor Swift. You
film.
brought Taylor Swift into this. I'm just defending. Have you seen all the news about her and Travis Kelce?
I don't.
The American footballer. No, you've not seen any of that. It's been all over the news. You must have. Someone's got the hump.
Because no one, I suppose, the only people that are going to be our fans are Taylor Swift fans. People who like Taylor Swift.
Hashtag Taylor Swift.
So are you going to see this in the cinema? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah.
You're literally going to go watch.
A pre-taster to the actual.
How are you still single? The fact that the stuff that you like is like, I swear, everywhere you go, it's just going to be full of single women. Damien's been trying to get me to go to Halloween party. I've decided now.
That you are.
No, I'm in my mid-30s now. I'm not.
Oh, he's
in
retired.
any way.
He's in his mid-30s. He's just retired from having
early
fun.
Early 20s. Let me go out. every night, be happy. Now, it's probably the most anxiety-inducing, horrific thing you could tell me to do. I just don't want to do it. I don't want, and also I've become a bit of like a, I don't know, a weird, what do you call it? Like
hermit crab.
A needy boyfriend as well. Right? You ready for this?
Yeah.
Got home from hockey. Did my own thing all day, which is what I usually do. Got home from hockey. Got in the shower and, oh, Alex, she hasn't texted me. So I called her. She didn't answer. Do you know what I did? Instead of like a normal person just leaving it, called a friend.
Called her friend who was
Called
with
her friend who's with her, who said she's fine, and
It's
I
not
said,
like it was
and then
like-
she got on the phone, and I said, I don't want to talk to you right now. I don't want to speak to you, have a conversation. I want you to have a good night. I just wanted to check the status of your morality right now, and then put the phone down. So actually, it's not too bad. I just wanted to see if she was alive. That's all. Is that still too needy?
A little bit.
Yeah. So I don't want to go out nights out. I just want to do podcasts.
Can I just say,
And-
if the shoe was on the other foot, and you were single, and you were like, Damien,
I wouldn't go out.
I
wouldn't go out.
Damien, I really need you.
I wouldn't
for
go
moral
out.
support to come out with me, dress up. I mean, we could easily do a Barbie and Ken. I'll be Barbie, you can be Ken.
No,
Or
mate,
we
we're
both
not.
just be Ken. We're Kenuff.
We're not in our
We're
20s.
Kenuff.
We're not in our 20s anymore.
But we're not
We're
in our
just not-
50s either.
But I'm not into it anymore. I'm not into that. What am I gonna do? Drink a lot and then get hungover?
Yeah.
No. My drinking days are over. Barring the beer
As you're
I've got in
drinking a
my
beer.
hand.
As you're drinking a beer.
This is liquid courage for the podcast because I hate starting the podcast because I hate saying welcome to Podcast Chill Out and then saying how are you, Damien? How have you been? When I spent literally the entire afternoon with you. Anyway, so I love the new songs from Blink-182. You don't.
No, I think.
Why
that's
don't you
very
like them?
Boring.
What's boring about them?
It sounds like a rehashed version of "Hello there."
You
the angel
think-
from my nightmares.
You think One More Time is a rehashed version of it?
Yeah.
I really like it. I like how it takes. The thing is, mate, if you
It's
want to
no
talk,
cruel summer. Just saying.
if you're going to talk about, yeah, but no, let's go there. No, let's go there. If you're going to talk about rehashed versions of things, Taylor Swift song sounds like a Taylor Swift song. Every Taylor Swift song sounds the same to me. Now I know that, and I don't use that argument because all of the bands that I like have a specific sound to it. Now you spent 20 minutes earlier just literally playing 4-chord acoustic songs at me, where they go, I don't know, it's just like 4 chords and it's like a female with a very like light voice singing very quietly, and it's like I'm like, mate,
Are you
you
going to
might
come
as
to
well all
Ollie
be the same
Humberston
song.
with me, by the way?
No,
Are you just saying that bitterness?
all I'm saying is
I bought tickets.
each of the new songs are really interesting.
I
So
bought tickets for us.
each of the new
I bought tickets for us.
I know. Leave me know. Each of the new songs add something new to it. The One More Time I love. I listen to it loads. Okay, it's not like I Miss You. However, I can understand
Jason.
the connections to it, but the actual lyrics about their band breaking up and them coming together actually has a lot of like synonymous
Did it resonate
messages
with you?
and resonations that I've had to like friendships and things, to like me and you and stuff like that, and like how I'm not good at keeping friendships. I'm not good at like keeping in touch with people, and I find it difficult to do that. And I feel
But not
like
with me.
we always have to find something. Well, actually, I think there's something relevant to us. Is that we've found this podcast in order to keep up.
We didn't need a podcast.
I know we didn't need it, but what I'm saying is a lot of friendships and stuff. You need some other catalyst to get you together, and then like what ends up happening is like. No, this is very morbid. Like
a
someone,
Halloween party.
someone dies, or like someone gets really ill, or something happens, and then you always go like, "I wish I spent more time with that person."
Do you mean like a Halloween party that you're not going to?
But the second thing is you can actually look at it from a relationship point of view. In that, like, obviously, I had grandparents pass away in the last couple of years, and it's like, actually, the song resonates with me in that sense because it's about how you wish that when they were alive, you would have said, "I love you" more. You would have said. You'd have spent more time on the phone, all that kind of stuff. I constantly think about it. I'd never message or phone my grandmothers enough. And so, yeah, that's why I thought it resonated with me. It wasn't about, me resonating with the lads, reuniting as a band. It was more, I think I took a lot from it. And then More Than You Know is a sick punk song.
Yeah, and you're going to give us a rendition of it now, aren't you?
I can give you a rendition of One More Time.
Yeah, go on then.
Okay.
Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be... Do you know that?
If it's rubbish...
Do you get that reference?
If it's rubbish, I'm not going to use it. If it's rubbish, I'm not going to the podcast.
But do you get that?
Okay, so Damien really forced me on doing that cover for One More Time, and I absolutely did a terrible job. And so, without any auto-tune, I'm going to give it another go with better recording, and see how it goes, so that I can stick it on the podcast. One take only. We'll go with that. Strangers, from strangers into brothers, from brothers into strangers once again. We saw the whole world, but I couldn't see the meaning. I couldn't even recognize my friends. Older, but nothing's any different. Right now feels the same, I wonder why. I wish they told us it shouldn't take a sickness or airplanes falling out the sky. And do I have to die to hear you miss me? And do I have to die to hear you say goodbye? And I don't wanna act like there's tomorrow, and I don't wanna wait to do this one more time. One more time. One more time. One more time. I miss you. So dumb, but I admit it. Right now feels the same, I wonder why. And I know that next time, I know it's gonna happen. I gotta say I love you while we're here. And do I have to die to hear you miss me? And do I have to die to hear you say goodbye? And I don't wanna act like there's tomorrow, and I don't wanna wait to do this one more time. 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 Hopefully that sounds a little bit better, but that will be my replacement for what I did the other night. Cheers. I feel like I got loads of those notes.
You do all the small things. Go on.
Yeah, but I want to make like. I'll try and make.
Yeah, I feel like
I'll try and make it acoustic. Do you want to sing it with me?
Yeah.
Say the microphone because there's a delay on it. Oh.
Da da da. Oh yeah, I can hear myself.
Exactly. Okay.
Is this like a slowed down version?
Yeah.
Late night, come home, work sucks, I know. She left me roses by the stairs. Surprise election if she cares. Say it ain't so, I will not go. Turn the lights off, carry me home. Say it ain't so, I will not go. Turn the lights off, carry me home. Keep it real still, I'll be your thrill. I will go on, never again. Say it ain't so, I will not go. Turn the lights off, carry me home. Keep it real still, I'll be your thrill. I will go on, I will be your thrill.
If I had a pair of knickers, I'd throw them right at you now, Jason.
Go on, get down the fence here, throw it at me now. Do you know what's so terrifying? I'm going to hear that back and be
I
absolutely
thought you
mortified.
sounded really good.
Thanks. My one more time's chorus was a bit...
Can
but
we do this as a segment? You sing.
I think you should sing as with me as well.
Yeah, but you're a much better singer than I am.
Right, that's the end of that. Let's go on to the review.
This is really good.
I'll go in the back. I'll go right towards the end of this segment.
No, put it at the beginning. Yeah. Are we back on?
We're back on.
Oh, hello.
We're back on.
So,
I was really disappointed. I was quite excited for my one more time rendition, but I didn't actually do it very well. But anyway,
Jason,
you
smashed that.
We need a double.
You smashed that. You were.
I wish I could sing. I think I can do all the bits, but I can't.
Jason, you're a fantastic.
He's a very good singer. Damien is.
But I'm shy.
We both have glasses on today as well.
We do. Glasses brothers.
We watched nothing together these last few weeks.
No, we haven't.
Absolutely nothing. But there's a lot to talk about.
So
we're going to do lots of small reviews, lots of short reviews. Everything's going to be kept short.
Yeah.
Apart from when I talk about sex education, because I want to really delve deep into it.
So
I want to get deep into the education. I want to get deep into the education system of the sex education landscape and world. You've never seen it?
No.
Should you create it first, though?
Yeah, because
So
you've been on about the creator for ages.
Yeah, but I have an embarrassing story about this.
I'm putting these off.
Exactly.
You're on about the creator for ages.
It just used to like slurring your words.
So, you've been on about the creator. This is really hard.
I know, because I don't have a high-powered computer, and so we can't do that yet. Once you start paying me, people of the Twitter and YouTube sphere, Elon Musk, pay me, mate. I'm putting my stuff on I'm putting our stuff on your platform. Pay us up so I can buy a new computer. # buy pop culture chill out a new computer. We're using a laptop, just rubbish laptop.
Should we start bringing out merchandise? So anyway,
Get your glasses.
Jason's been on about watching the
But
creator.
you actually can't have that next to that.
Why?
Because that's gonna feedback off that. Such a noob. That's alright. Can you hear me though?
Yeah.
How do I sound?
Like a sexy South
I don't
African.
like that I have a very high voice. Not a high voice, it's not very high, but it's like it's not like a good podcast voice.
You've got a David Beckham voice.
I really
David
David
Beckham
Beckham voice. Oh
Yeah.
no, can't believe it.
So anyway, Jason's been on about the creator.
Okay, can I
for
explain
ages.
to you why? Okay,
Hold on, let me just finish.
All right, if you want to explain
Jason, the
viewers, why.
even though I had to be up at 3 a.m. to go to Munich, right? I went to go and see the creator because Jason was like, I will watch the creator this weekend, so we need to podcast it straight away when you come back. So I knew I needed to get an early night, but I thought, no, he was on about me not being committed to this podcast, and I thought,
but hang on,
I'm going to go and see the creator on
explain to
Friday before, and I'm
But I can
really
explain this to
tired,
you.
but I'm going to go to the cinema. I went to cinema to see it, and then, Jason, have you seen the creator yet?
Hang on, let me explain this
Have
to
you seen the creator yet?
No.
Exactly.
Okay, can I explain why?
You made me watch Fight Club.
Don't put the microphone to me.
You made me watch Fight Club when I was really tired. And I watched Fight
Oh,
Club
this
because you're
week's
on about
film.
reviewing it.
This week's film is
No,
Back
well-
to the Future.
Well, yeah, but watch the creator first.
Okay, can I talk now?
Yes. Domestic.
Gosh, there's a huge sound. So, when the creator trailer came out, I thought that looked really
tagged you in it.
interesting, and it said from the director of Rogue One. I was like, well, that's okay.
You
It's
got
one of the
mixed
better
up.
ones.
You got mixed up though, didn't
Oh,
you?
mate, you're such a story ruiner.
Oh, okay, sorry.
This is the whole story.
Go on.
And so it's Gareth
Edward.
Edwards. And I'm gonna say I've embarrassed myself on this podcast last time we were on. I got really, really excited. Sorry, I'm gonna put this on silent. I got really excited, like incredibly excited, because I thought the director was not Gareth Edwards of Monsters or of
No,
Rogue
he is
One.
Monsters. He did direct Monsters.
You're not even listening to a sentence I'm saying. It's not the Gareth Edwards of Monsters and Rogue One.
Oh, okay. Thought you were
And
again, Jason.
Is there another one that he's done? Those are the two that I'm like very
he
familiar
hasn't
with
made
him.
that
Yeah.
many films.
I thought it was the Gareth Evans of the
The
Apostle
Raid.
film that I was reviewing last time, and obviously the Raid and Raid 2, which Raid 2 is probably one of the best films I've ever seen. The Raid one's one of the best action films, and so I was excited because I thought it was Gareth Evans, and so when it said from the director of, it just gets worse, doesn't it? You're making so much noise with that, by the way.
Sorry.
I can see it on here. When it says the director of Rogue One, in the last
You
podcast,
threw a
I
hissy
kicked
fit.
off and saying it was one of his worst films. Not even doing my due diligence and actually realizing that it wasn't even him that was the one that was the person of that I was even thinking about. However, Monsters is really good with a small budget, and there's been some nice buzz about the creator. There's been some. What is it? Rotten Tomatoes. Has it got a good Rotten
I think
Tomatoes?
it's quite high.
I bet you it's not that great.
I reckon it's
Because-
I'm going to go 89%.
I'm gonna go 75.
Nah.
And the reason,
89%.
yeah, but you've seen it, haven't you?
I haven't seen the Rotten Tomatoes score.
The reason
I've
why,
seen the film.
but this fills into my narrative, and that it's not one of the big boys. We're not going to
Nah.
say who it is.
I reckon it's high. I reckon it's like 92%.
Okay.
89 to 92%.
I'm gonna say,
you
by
think
virtue of
75%.
Yeah, but you know why?
I'm going to look it up.
I'm doing it now.
Yeah, but you're
Okay.
taking longer than I am.
By virtue of the, because I actually can talk during a podcast while someone else is doing something. By virtue of the fact that this is not one of the big boys, and I'm not talking about directors because he's a good director. But
Oh, wow. 67%.
exactly,
Wow.
my point proven. I think now we're getting to the point now, mate, where we can tell the Rotten Tomato scores. We can tell the Rotten Tomato scores of a film before we get there.
Wow.
Blue Beetle is going to be in the 80s. It could be it could literally be the trailer of Blue Beetle, and they'd give it 80%. Are you texting back? Someone?
No, I'm looking at what the Empire review gave it.
3. No, I'm going to say 4. Empire like giving a 4. Empire give a 4 to everything.
4-star, yeah.
Boom. I haven't even seen the film, and I can pre-review what the public, what these reviewers think,
Yeah.
because I genuinely think they're paid off. I think the only place to trust your reviews is Pop Culture Chill Out. And I think we're going to clip that on TikTok when Damien one day actually makes a TikTok.
Alright.
only
IGN
place-
gave it 7 out of 10.
The only place you can... IGN is paid by the corporations. Come on.
Yeah, I'm just looking at...
All of their scores are incredibly high. So there, that's my opinion. That's my opinion of it all.
So you haven't actually seen the film, though, have you?
No, I think... Do you want me to review it without watching it?
Go on.
Okay. I think it's a great looking film.
That's it.
No, you're not in the
I am
conversation.
listening. I'm looking
You're still
for
on
the
your phone.
review.
I
I'm
was
looking
at
for
least
the review
doing...
of... Oh, I can't find
No,
it.
because I want your review. Don't look at other people's
No,
review.
I'm
just,
I'm
the only
looking at
point
the
was-
stars. I'm not
But my
looking at
point,
anything else.
my point was proven, wasn't it?
Right,
My
so
point was
shall I-
proven. So it's a good looking film.
Mhm.
It's a film that looks better than its budget. It
Oh,
has
yeah,
it has a good story. I think the girl actor is probably very good in it. I think John David Washington is really good in it. I think there's probably good action set pieces. maybe the Gareth Edwards film, maybe the emotional core is missing a little bit, and maybe he might be having some narrative difficulties with the plot. I reckon it's very similar to Rogue One in how he does it. Go on. I don't know.
Thanks for that unseen review.
I bet you it's exactly spot on.
Beautiful film. It is a beautiful film.
Check. That's one. Yeah.
Like what you said, for the budget, I think the budget was 80 million. It looked 100 times better than anything Marvel's put out in the last 2-3 years. Star Wars as well. Like the sets looked so real. The CGI is just fantastic. I don't know, the effects looked really good. The CGI in it's amazing.
Did you see the Ashoka?
I've watched.
There was a guy that was he wasn't part of the Ashoka series, but he was a visual effects guy. Like made the Ashoka visual effects. Sorry, I'm like throat burps. He made the Ashoka visual effects better than the actual visual effects in the program.
Is that CGI artists react? That's probably what.
Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't. I saw it on YouTube as well. I did see it on YouTube.
So basically, amazingly, sorry, this is like a week ago or 2 weeks since I've seen this film. I think a week and a half. So I'm trying to remember all of it. But the effects in it are absolutely fantastic. Hang
on, sorry, are the effects in it fantastic?
Yes,
are they really good?
Absolutely amazing.
Sorry, I just didn't. You haven't mentioned how good the effects are.
One track.
For it to be
one track mind.
Very clear that the effects are really good.
No,
should I call Alex for a drink? Hang on.
Alex, garçon.
Maybe this is why Alex didn't want to see you today. Bossing her around for a drink.
Do you want a drink?
I'm okay.
Do you want to just talk about the visual effects for a little bit longer?
A little bit longer. David, is it? What is it? I can't remember. Is it David Washington? The actor.
John
David Washington. What an actor.
Are you bored of this review already?
I'm tired.
You're like not interested in talking about it. No. Do you not want to talk about this?
No, I will talk about it.
Should we talk about something else?
I do. Listen, I'll give my review. John David Washington's absolutely brilliant in it. I think he's going to become one of the top go-to actors for movies in the next couple of years. He's such a fantastic actor. I think everyone was brilliant in it. I thought there were scenes in it that were very emotional. I think the ending was very emotional. What can I say? I really enjoyed it. I'm so tired. I'm just like, it was a great movie. I'm trying to think back to what I'm trying.
Like and subscribe.
It's a good movie. What can I say?
John David Washington.
John David Washington.
I think he had his collateral damage of COVID. I think his first breakthrough film was Tenet, which was criminally underrated.
Wasn't it Black Keiko Klansman? He was in that, and he was amazing in that.
Okay.
He was absolutely him and Adam.
But then it's not a breakthrough role, this is it? Because he's really broken through. He's not going to be. He's clearly doing his thing.
But what I'm saying is,
he's in loads of big blockbusters.
Yeah, he is. Like Tenet as well, he was in. And I think he's got such amazing charisma for a leading man. And, I mean, he clearly gets it from his dad. I mean, did you know his dad, Denzel Washington?
Yeah.
Just putting the two and two together.
Thanks.
Just that for you. No.
So should I watch it?
Yes, 100%. The relationship between the main character and the main character in it, the girl he's sort of protecting, the story. I tell you why it probably won't get 5 stars is because it's very similar. The storyline plot is very similar to Avatar.
Gross.
The first Avatar, there's similarities in the plot. And it's very similar. There's elements of like the Terminator. There's elements of it's about AI. The one thing I do like is sort of spoiler territory here,
No, don't do that. Don't
Well, you got to
spoil
see.
it for
You
me.
need to see the film, mate.
Yeah, I don't want you to spoil it.
Right,
Like, this
so,
is probably the one good thing about me not actually watching a film with you is that you don't end up spoiling the daylight out of it. I really don't want you to spoil it.
Right.
What I do want to say is that I did listen to a 5 minutes of a review, and they said it was very James Cameron, so well done, Avatar.
Yeah.
And they actually said it was very Neil Blomkamp.
Mm,
They
yeah,
said
yeah.
it was a rubbish Elysium.
A rubbish Elysium.
Yeah,
And Elysium didn't get great reviews.
I loved Elysium.
Yeah, but I don't think it.
Yeah, but
when
good
it came
people
out.
who have good taste in films liked Elysium.
I-
Elysium, it's Elysium, isn't it?
There were different.
Not a rubbish
There were
Elysium.
definitely elements of it where I had seen it before, and things like Blade Runner and things like that. So I think it borrowed heavily from a lot of classic sci-fi films. Like I said, part of it is Avatar.
What's the Will Smith one? They said it was like halfway house between Elysium, which they really rate. No, it might have been the one that he did with his son.
Oh, the one where he's on the planet.
Yeah. And they said like
M. Night
that was
Shyamalan
like
made
the
it,
bottom
didn't
of the barrel. Elysium's the top, and then this is kind of like in the middle of it.
No, I think that's unfair. I really like The Creator. I think it was a really good film. I think it's probably.
I don't like sci-fi, by the way.
Yeah, but I think it's.
I don't like Avatar.
This has got.
I hate Avatar.
There is a twist.
Sorry, I'm helping you out here with the
Yeah.
conversation because you're just like.
You're not letting me speak, so that's why I'm.
I know
over.
because this is you, right?
I'm going,
This is you. As you start
'cause
talking,
you
you
keep interrupting me.
it's really like a good film, like it's like Avatar.
Mate, well, we should be doing podcasts at
Oh my
11
gosh!
at night.
Okay, Mister, I want to be out until 3 o'clock in the morning. You can perfectly go into a Halloween party and have a good time. I want to go to bed in 2 hours time, but I'm good. I'm ready for the
your
podcast.
bed's next door. I got to drive
See,
home.
this is look at who's motivated by the podcast these days. Look at who actually is motivated by the podcast. That was the wrong bit.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I think it was a fantastically shot film. I think it did borrow heavily from other sci-fi films that we've seen before, but I thought I know I keep saying the effects are brilliant, but I mean, the CGI in it is great, and I think there's a lot of really good actors that pop up in this. It's very well acted. Yeah, and there's surprisingly a lot more heart in this than I expected going into it, and there is a twist at the end to our lead character's journey that I sort of didn't see come in. So, and I'm normally quite good at picking up where the plot's going. So the ending I thought was quite emotional.
I'm excited by the AI narrative and what they have to say about it.
Well, the AI narrative, I think you'll be surprised by in this as well when you go in, when you start watching it, and I think the narrative reminds me of Avatar.
That doesn't sound good. Oh, hang on. That's just giving away the spoiler.
Well, no,
You've literally just spoiled it for me.
How have I?
Because what happens in Avatar? I'm not going to say it for the audience because
I won't
you
say it.
are honestly
What you don't
no,
know?
because I know what John David Washington's character is now. I know what he is.
No,
That's what his motivations
not
are. That's
necessary.
why he wants to look after
that's
that
not
girl.
No, it's not necessarily true.
I've got it, haven't I? You're
Oh,
unbelievable.
It's pretty obvious from the trailers.
No, it's not.
It
It's
is.
not. Stop talking. No, I don't want to talk to you about it anymore.
All right, don't speak to me anymore. Anyway, I'll probably give it.
Don't talk to me anymore.
Don't talk to me anymore. I'm done. No, I give this 4.5 stars.
I'm excited for it. I think it looks great. And
I think
I'll
there was
I'll
just-
watch it. And I will review it as well.
There were parts of it weren't original. I mean, the issue is now you get to a point, how original can you make a film? Because you only have certain plots. There are only certain plots that get retreaded.
This is someone who's actually not like tired.
In a lot of films. Oh.
This isn't someone who's actually not tired about.
Who his
Mark,
lost
what do you
love,
think
who
about
he
it,
still
Mark?
believes to be around. So what then
Thanks,
happens
Jason.
is
This isn't someone who's
he's
not
on
tired.
that particular trail. They are on his trail. So the special
No. Stop telling us
weird,
the story. No
like
doing
mechanical
anything.
huge cultural weight, that they are hugely significant, and yet they are a child, and yet they are so much more than a child. There's also a kind of a war action.
So just watch his
really,
podcast instead of
really
ours.
impressive.
Basically.
And we both saw
You
it
said it was
together. At the
impressive?
end of it, you sent me a text which said, "I enjoyed that."
Yeah, no, I absolutely did, and I was surprised. It'd be interesting to see what people make of it when they email the show. But I was surprised how anti-American it is. Certainly anti-US Army.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's
And
explore that because
that's what I was.
because you're very tired. So
No,
let's
that's what-
explore that. Go
well,
on.
the
let's explore
that's-
that bit because otherwise you can tell me how good the effects are again.
No, that's what I was basically saying. It is very anti. That's what the link to Avatar is. Where that's the link that I
Okay.
was making.
I
is
thought
the
John,
fact
I
that-
thought John David Washington was AI
No.
because you know how the guy turns into a blue person.
No.
Ah.
No, the with this is the fact that you're led to believe that AI is the enemy basically, and it's just humankind ruining themselves. The whole
Yeah,
basically the nuclear bomb was caused by humans. AI gets blamed, and then the whole thing is anti-AI, and throughout this film, it's constantly.
But actually-
the humans. No, the humans are the enemies in this, and it.
but I mean in real life. Come on,
Yeah, but we are at fault. We
AI
rely,
is going to murder us, mate.
but we rely on. Look at everyone. We dumb ourselves down with ChatGPT, GPT, or
Why
whatever
do
it
you
is.
think ChatGPT dumbs us down?
Because
That's an
eventually
interesting point.
rather than us actually thinking with our
mean,
brains
I'm
and coming
getting-
up with words, you type in a few things. I want this done. Please write me a story about X, Y, and Z. We're losing our process, like our own process, brain thinking
I think-
process of
I-
writing stuff
I
because we're getting
disagree.
people to do it for us.
I think we're losing the need to be retentive of information because we can access it. I don't necessarily think information is about what you can
We'll
carry.
end up our brain chemistry and everything is going to change over the years because we're becoming less reliant on our own
Yeah, but
own thoughts and our own needs to think for ourselves because we've got everything to
But
do
do you not
stuff
think-
for us.
that's so interesting because I feel
We're going
like
to completely de-skill ourselves.
if I was at school now, I'd do so much better because, the future of what school will look like, right? School won't be about learning something and how well you can remember it, because that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. The ability to be intelligent is now. We have the information at our disposal. It's our ability to be critical with it. Like this podcast, right, is predicated on the fact that we're not just taught. Like we have this. We're not just telling
But that's
the
what
audience
the
what
whole
the
thing of the
story
writer's
is.
strike's going on at the moment because it's against AI. You're putting
Yeah, but
people
the
out of
AI
jobs because people are just
Ooh,
typing.
ooh.
Jason was shouting for
Ding,
water
ding, ding, ding,
earlier.
ding, ding. Where we go,
He was
ding,
basically
ding,
he wanted to get a bell. Ding ding
ding,
ding
ding,
ding.
ding. Did Fran go? Oh, is it right if I have a drink, please? Hang on, I'll do it.
Can I have a wee first, though? So just give me the cup and leave it outside.
Sorry, what was that? What was that?
I need a wee, so I'll give you water after I've had a wee. Happy? Thank you.
My girlfriend, ladies and gentlemen. That was quite funny. That was quite. Stop saying you're gonna get us demonetized because we get so much money from this in the first place.
No, I just think we are.
I value the two people like we are now having access to information and being able to decipher and to be able to manipulate that in our own way and understand what that is. Like the way in which I was judged at school was how much I could look at something and remember it, and I didn't do too well at school. Initially, I've done well in university and everything like that, but at school I really struggled because it wasn't actually categorizing me as an intellectual. It was categorizing me into what I could actually remember and do at school. So what I'm saying is that AI doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, but
I
you're talking
attribute
about technology, the use of technology and having access to the internet and things like that. I'm talking about getting AI to do stuff for you.
Okay,
That's
so
the difference.
Okay, I'll give you. I'll give you a different example. then.
My thing is, I think technology is absolutely fantastic. I think the access to technology, I'm not complaining about that. I think even having stuff like Google Maps and being, compared to when you used to have to write everything, you used to get the old A to Z out and use Map Planner and things like that. I'm not complaining about that. I'm complaining about the fact that we've become lazy and we're getting AI to do everything for us. We're de-skilling ourselves. You're going to lose you're going to lose the possibility of fantastic writers, poets, from just getting everyone, because everyone can then just do it. If I wanted to, I could go on ChatGPT now and type in, write me a poem about, I don't know, write me a poem about guitars, roses, and doorknobs, and they will type one up for me. I've seen people use it for emails, and it just sounds so impersonal, but it's not people. It's not your voice. We're going to lose our own.
Can I debate that point? Though?
Yeah, go on.
I really appreciate that point. I really do. I'm just saying, for me personally, in how it upskills me as a person. I personally believe in one's personal capability, and not the genius, therefore, because I'm not saying that, but like the stuff that people have within them that can enhance their ability to do what they like and what they love doing. So in terms of jobs, I agree. Then if you're really lazy and you want to crack on, but if you do something that you love, for example, like this podcast, we are supported. I'm going to lose my train. Thank you.
He didn't ring his bell and summon you. You're not supposed to be here without the bell.
Sorry.
He needs to summon you. He needs to summon.
No,
He
my
needs to
point,
summon you
I'm
first.
in the middle of a point. Ding 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 ding. Thank you.
Anything else I can get you, please do just ring.
Thanks, Al.
Well, you didn't notice as Alex was in a made outfit.
What I'm saying, okay, so what I'm saying is that, like, okay, for example, this filmmaking that I really was keen to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a group of people to do it for me or anything like that. It's all going to be based off of my own ability. And so for me as a hobbyist, all the stuff that I'm doing as a filmmaker is based off of the stuff that I enjoy. None of the stuff that I need to take from ChatGPT is going to be that of which is in my own interest. However, I don't feel like I'm much of a writer. And so therefore, like, I don't have someone writing for me. So I actually did go on ChatGPT and say, write a little scene between my character and the scary thing. Like, okay, what all that is doing is it's just helping me put pieces of a puzzle together within my own interest.
Yeah,
With this
I just think it stunts the
podcast, I went on ChatGPT to try and understand how to do this, and then when me and you speak, and you're like, I can't do any of this podcast stuff that you do, all this like production mumbo jumbo. I'm saying to you, where does it come from? It's me learning about how to do it. But now that I've done it many times, I don't need ChatGPT. I've acquired the skill to do that without any AI. I believe that it's. But you're not understanding my point, right? You understand?
No,
surely.
I do. I think it's good for certain.
I've upskilled as a result of AI.
Maybe it's the overuse of AI then that I don't agree with. I just think we're going to end up in a couple of years just really de-skilling ourselves because computers will do everything for us, and and also it's gonna. I mean, there's the argument. It's like what we get our children to do. It's like getting to do.
I'd be really careful with that statement because I feel like our past generations said the exact same thing about the technology that developed before us. I feel like every generation there is going to be something new that humans will adapt to and utilize either to the best and worst of their capabilities. It's not a good or a bad thing. I think it's a spectrum.
Well, all right. So what do you think about AI doing artwork? There was actually a recent article where someone put in to create a Batman comic, right? And they used artwork from other artists to create a comic strip. Those artists have not been paid for that. Their art's been stolen, and their art's been put in and used for art purposes. This is my argument: is that all these people the input, as much as I know you put in whatever you want to put in, it is coming from somewhere. They're taking that information from somewhere. Especially with the artwork, they're taking from existing artwork to make these pictures. So what's happening to these people who've put their artwork out there? It's essentially being stolen, regurgitated, and made into these horrific images. You've seen some of the pictures that they make have got like 10 fingers on one hand and so on, but people can just use other people's artwork, other people's work that they've spent hours to create, and then some computers just regurgitated it and used artwork, and essentially people are stealing people's.
But you just said stolen. Like we're deciphering between right and wrong, And what you're saying now is that there's never been right and wrong in the first place. There always is right and wrong, and there's always been stealing. That's where we got the word stealing from. If someone is utilizing AI imagery and casting it off as their own form of art or own art form, it's wrong because they are stealing.
That's
that.
what
It's plagiarism.
Yeah.
That's what I completely agree with that. But that's just the negative side of it. There's been a negative side in everything, like in terms of, like.
All I'm saying is there's also, that comes back to it, there are people, very talented people out there who work really hard to become writers, to become artists. This is going to affect creatives. There's people who, I know I get where you're saying you're not much of a writer, so you would put it in ChatGPT and so on. My argument is, on a much higher scale, where do we get to a point where TV shows this is the whole point of the writer's strike. Part of it's part of the writer's strike. But with artists, if we get to a point where AI starts coming out with the artwork to comic books, to AI starts writing films for movies, directors start using in the way that you did for your short film, it's essentially
not all of it.
No, but what I'm saying is on a bigger scale, those people who work really hard to become artists, who develop their trade, develop themselves as writers, they're going to miss out because of AI.
I think it's sad, but I think many jobs have been replaced by some form of new technology.
But one of the jobs that shouldn't be replaced.
We don't kill our own animals anymore.
No, but one of the jobs that shouldn't be replaced is the creative arts, because that's people's chance to express themselves, and for people who struggle in school, those people who aren't academic, the creative arts are an outlet for them to express themselves. And
I'd say academics are getting their jobs replaced as well.
Yeah, I know, but
I'd say a lot of people are getting their jobs replaced.
But the one job that one job I feel that shouldn't be replaced are people's the creative side, because that's where you get to express yourself, and now we're getting computers to do that for us. So, I just think.
I think with writers and stuff like that, I think there's numerous variables that I think that affect quality of creativity. I think politics does. I feel like this whole...
Well, also the argument for writers is with streamed shows and things like that now, they're not syndicated and things like that. There's the residual money and stuff is very funny in terms of how much they actually earn from streaming platforms.
Yeah, it becomes a new... Yeah.
So, I mean, there's money...
Residuals and that, yeah.
Yeah, residuals. So, no, I think AI has its place. I just think we have to be careful we don't end up overusing it and de-skilling ourselves. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And we can agree to disagree, but...
No, it's not a disagreement. It's just more of the fact that I think we live in a world where, with writing and stuff like that, I think people are taking into account in Disney and all this kind of stuff way more than what is their creation and what their own, I don't know, take on a film is. And by the way, writing, you can only write 7 different types of narrative anyway.
Well,
so what AI kind of does is it kind of exposes that fact. In the first case, there's a lot of films that tread over the same different types of things, and I'd say the only kind of like I think, I love the first Kingsman film with all my heart. It was one of my favorite viewing experiences of all time. I feel like every action scene tries to replicate that. So there's almost like an AI element of us not plagiarizing from each other, but like magpieing ideas from each other in order to create something that is a viable and popular project.
Look at Stranger Things. How many shows have come out since Stranger Things that have copied the style and everything since?
Yeah, but then does that make the writers any? Does that give the writers any credibility?
People go on a trend.
These people are essentially their own AIs. They're just copying what they are. We also got and I know this is a very sore, tough subject, but
Jason, you're not going to go down popular with the Writers Guild of America.
Oh, and you can listen to what I say next. It's everyone's
Jason Blum
need to be
enemy of the WGA.
No, not really. But it's this whole need to be to show representation. It's the whole need to be politically correct. It's all this kind of stuff. It completely stunts creativity because everyone's scared to write things that are challenge. Like some of the best films that have come out in the last 40 years have always challenged what is the norm, and nowadays it's like 2023. A film is going to be lambasted if it doesn't fit a specific norm, or if it doesn't come out of a particular film. I was going to say film industry, but like a film studio. You're looking at. I was just saying with the Rotten Tomatoes. Like, what's that? What it becomes? What does the point become anymore? You only have A24 that are really doing some interesting things with their writing these days, and
to be fair, Blumhouse
is kind of
with their it's their horror niche, but
it's the bed a bit recently. It hasn't been that great.
No,
but
I think they have dropped the ball. I think that's the issue when you start churning out. That's the issue when you start churning out films as at a higher rate. You lose the quality.
It's one thing I completely agree with what you just said. You just said something about like whatever stuns creativity, whatever stuns a vision, is negative. And I feel like it's not just AI. I feel like there's a lot of variables that are impacting our ability to enjoy a film that is one's one's absolute creation, because we're very scared society at the moment to be offensive. Or I mean, it's funny. Ironically, I watched Gen V, and I might talk about it for a bit. But like Gen V is very happy to be very offensive in some ways, and very inoffensive in others. And it's like
Arnold Schwarzenegger's son is in that.
Yeah.
But Patrick Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Well, Chewie.
But yeah, so
are you excited for Argyle, by the way?
I love Matthew Vaughn. I actually think that's one of the characters.
Directors.
He's one of the directors that I do think goes against that. And like, the ending scene of Kingsman. This is Mark Kermode. I listened to him, and Kermode went mad about the ending scene. He was so angry, and he said it ruined the film. And I'm like,
of what film?
Of Kingsman 1. He said it ruined it. It was, it was derogatory and it was crude and da, da, da. And I'm like, it's just like a comedy thing. Like, it's completely inoffensive to me. But like that we get like people like him who are very quite like liberal, and there's some things that he likes that are I'd say quite markedly offensive, but then other things that he doesn't. And it's just like, that's just the way that the world works. And I think we need more creatives, like you say, to go against type and to challenge those norms. And I think like I watched 3 series now in the last week in preparation for this podcast that I have some interesting views on, or hopefully interesting views on, in terms of how I think creative filmmaking is still in a really good space.
Well, do you want to start with your first one?
Well, I want to know what you want to give for the creator.
I gave it 4.5. The creator.
4.5. Wow.
4.5. I really enjoyed it. I think, like I said, there was one thing. There were a few elements where I'd seen this film before. I think there were a few moments that were on the nose, but on the whole, I really enjoyed the film. I was captivated from the beginning to the end. The effects were fantastic. Just putting that out there.
The effects are fantastic.
I think the acting for such a small cast, it felt very, very epic on a large scale. He did a fantastic job of world building. And you do feel like this world does exist, and you do feel like you travel all over this version of our Earth. So no, I really enjoyed it. I think 4.5. I'd definitely recommend it. I think you'll actually really enjoy it.
Yeah,
if you don't like sci-fi, I think you'll love it.
I'll give it a short review when I watch it. My turn.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, so I watched. I think up to episode 6. I wanted to watch the whole season, but I watched up to episode 6 of Sex Education. I've watched season 1. Absolutely loved it.
So did you watch it recently, or you've been watching it?
No.
Since the beginning?
Progressively, yeah. So when they've come out, I actually watched season 1 when season 2 was out. Then watched season 1 and 2 together.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it. I gave season 1 a miss because I didn't really understand what it was about. It just didn't seem like it was my kind of cup of tea.
What made you get into it then? Just reviews?
I actually watched the second season first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I loved the second season.
Was the first season better than the second, or?
No, I think the second season was the best.
Okay.
And then I watched the third season last year when it came out, and I didn't finish it. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it. I feel like it is unfair for me to criticize it, as you know. But for me personally, I'm happy for everyone else to watch it, whatever. But I felt quite offended myself by it.
Why
I'm not going to shout
on
about
South
it and tell
Africans or
everyone
something,
like to, to stop watching it, and like I'm not going to tell people to be cancelled. But it's very anti-traditionalist education system, which I think there are some valid criticisms. But I think having a pretty standard head teacher be completely demonized and antagonized in a series, I think it paints quite a negative picture for the influence that it could have as a TV series. But I know that that's what film and TV has done for years, so that's absolutely fine with me. I just didn't feel that interested in it whatsoever. And so season 4 starts us off with the fact that they're now all at a new college.
What was wrong with the first one?
Well, the basically I don't know, the school must have burned down or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But basically, this very traditional, normal head teacher was basically the bad guy, and she didn't want people wearing, this and that, and probably it was anti-LGBT or whatever. I don't know. I can't even remember it. But basically, she was the devil, basically incarnate. I just felt like in the third season it took normality. Oh, that's not. I wouldn't say normality, but it took traditional. I'd say more conservative
Say the
viewpoints.
stereotype of what normal should be.
Yeah, stereotypes. No, because that's not what the world is now. The world can be whatever it wants to be. And anyone can be it. But I think it created antagonists of people who are more conservative and traditional. And for me personally, I'd say I'd flip down the middle. But when you're trying to make people look like the bad guys, when that's your prerogative, and that's for your audience, that's not a problem.
So
but I gave season 4 a go, and it's very difficult for me to review without going into like characters, because I feel like this season's really good at like really pushing the character dynamics as opposed to plot. They add characters unnecessarily because they go to a new college.
This is the last season.
It really pushes the button on representation to the point where I actually think that it becomes some of those characters become very relevant. I think some of the new characters are poor actors. I don't think their stories are that important. It's kind of like, it's some of them are just like, oh, I've transitioned, I've done this. Oh, that's really sad. And that because you haven't been with him for 3-4 seasons, you're kind of not really that engaged in their process and in their story.
One of the guys is the new Doctor Who as well, you know that?
Yeah, so he's a good character, but he's been there for ages. So that's why I kind of wanted to refresh my brain by going through some of the characters and telling you kind of a little bit about them in terms and what my viewpoint was. Because I do feel like the characters that you see on screen are the main characters. They're the ones that you want to follow.
She's
and
in
I think
the one with the red dress thing. She's in Barbie.
because she apparently looks like Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
So basically, like the whole idea is that these characters here, I think Ruby's on the right. You don't see her in this picture here, but basically these characters have been there since season 1. Mostly, I think there was one character there in the middle that hasn't been, but the new characters take away from these characters' arcs, and whenever you get back to the old characters, oh, thank goodness, because you really want to get. And there's some really brilliant episodes. There's actually mixed with one absolutely terrible one, but I'll tell you about that in a second. In my perspective, so I like this website because it tells us about all the characters. So Asa
He's a gooner.
Asa Butterfield's Otis is the main character that
He's
is
a
so-called
gooner, Jason.
yeah, well, whatever. He's a sex therapist that it basically follows. Absolutely fine character. And it's more about the season 4 is more about his relationship with Ruby and with the girl who I said was in Barbie, who is Maeve, and how will they won't they kind of story. And I think it's a really good romantic comedy story. And I think it's a brilliant romantic comedy story. But like I said, with how many characters there are, it kind of gets lost in the narrative. But it is probably my favorite part of the story. Gillian Anderson is his mother. She has a baby, and it explores postnatal depression in a really interesting and a really realistic way. Eric has always been one of my favorite characters. He's really funny. He's excellent, and it's basically throughout the seasons it's been about his battle with his family being quite traditional Christians and him being gay. And I think he's a really good
He's
character.
Really Doctor Who,
And I think the only reason for the relevancy of the new characters that are in the story is for him to like not come out, but like not be friends with Otis anymore and be like this. You can't put that towards me, because I was it's gonna double up. Sorry, is that like basically him and Otis start like not falling out, but like stop hanging out because he's now hanging out with these more LGBT kind of groups and stuff, and feeling more like himself and and that's kind of that part of it. But there's an episode where he goes out with him, and I just think it's absolutely rubbish episode that doesn't do anything to the storyline, does nothing to the narrative, but push certain representation narratives.
Okay.
That's my opinion. I don't think it helps. My favorite character of the whole series is Adam. Adam is like the school bully in the first season, and then eventually comes out as gay, and actually falls in love with Eric. His acting is brilliant. Connor Swindles he's a brilliant actor. But I'd watch it just for his character. He's brilliant. She's brilliant as well. She's a brilliant character. She's like the it girl, like the like mean girl kind of thing, with a past that is sad and that is actually a sensitive character. And I think she's a fabulous character as well. Like some of these characters are so well done and so brilliantly done. And you got Amy, who's just like the silly kind of not very intelligent but really sweet and really like a genuine person, and she's great. George has been in since season 3. I've far more liked his character in season 4 because he just has a little bit more about him. Actually, interesting story is that actually he was in a rugby accident as a result of the fact that he became disabled and incapacitated in the way that he is. So good on George Robinson because he's done really well and he's good in this. This Jackson character has a really interesting turn in season 4. Something happens to him that's really quite serious, and it actually looks at how how someone would go through something like that. I'll talk. Do you want me to say it? It's like he has a lump, and it's how and it's quite a realistic representation of the worry and anxiety you feel when something like that happens and turns your world upside down. So these are all like the returning characters, and they're all brilliant. And I think the season 4 did such a good job at like pushing forward their narratives. And then you get to the new characters. Now, she's probably the most interesting character. Is Sarah O. She is the basically the enemy to Otis because she's a sex therapist as well. But there's something going on with her character, and I'm only on episode 6. But I don't know what's cracking with her, and something might be up with her. I'm looking forward to finding out. But yeah, she's quite an interesting character. Now, Cal is one of the earlier trans characters that was introduced earlier in the series, and I think the earlier that they've put them in the series, the more I've been engaged with this character because I know exactly what this person is going through and the challenges that they have. And a lot of what this character goes through is the issues with their transitioning from a girl to a boy, and I think it's really effective and really brilliant. And so I want to make it very clear, I'm not against the push for representation in it. I just feel like it's the force feed that ends up affecting the actual storyline in itself. Because I'm going to start getting a bit critical now, I think.
How many more characters have we got to go through?
So many. Sorry, I'll be very quick.
quick. Can we just know the main cast?
So, but they're all. This is my point. So they're all pretty
cast.
much. It's massive, and this is the problem with it. I think is that every season they've added new characters to it, and I think in many cases it works really well because they all represent something different. But in some cases it treads over old things.
This is already too many characters.
Agreed. Viv's okay.
I'm getting a bit bored.
Sorry, I'll be quick. Viv's okay. He's an interesting one. I'm not.
He was from Schitt's Creek.
Yeah. He's one of the. Yeah, you're not going to understand. So this is where you're going to get some problematic things. You've got a deaf, lesbian character called Aisha. Not the greatest actress. Doesn't really add too much to it, apart from the fact of what she is. And this is where the problem is. I don't really get her as a character. You have Abby, who's like one of the cool characters who used to be a man, now is a girl. Not much to the character at all. Doesn't really add much to the story. Her person that she's in a relationship with, Roman, who basically his character is basically how he liked having the transitional surgery to remove their breasts.
Okay.
Nothing to do with the story. It wasn't really interesting whatsoever. Those are my least favorite characters in the story.
Yeah, but do you not think they're putting that into to show that there are people out there and give them some sort of representation.
Yeah, of course. And for
even
that,
if it's a short role, it's still representation.
if that is the case, it's fine. But I just feel like it's shoehorned in because that's what they are, and it's not because of what the characters can represent. And that's where I have the issue.
Yeah,
with it.
I do think that you're
I'm not going to talk too much about these characters. These characters are
But I
pretty
think
much extras.
sometimes you
The
got.
brother.
I think sometimes you got to start somewhere with the representation. So
But-
even
but-
if it's just like.
But for goodness sake, like, what do you mean about starting somewhere? There's representation in every single TV series you watch these days. That's all it is.
If that's
It's my biggest criticism of the film industry these days is that I do feel like representation becomes over the ability, the need to make something of good, high quality. Just look at what Marvel have been spilling out all the time.
Who's this guy?
He's the guy. One of my favorite characters, Daz, who was pretty. He's a brilliant character as well. But I'm not going to go through any of the other ones. I'd say Maeve's brother is a brilliant character in season 4. He's very interesting. He's very layered.
So what are would you recommend watching Sex Education?
I really would.
Is season 4?
I'd actually say season 4 is probably my
second favorite after season 2.
Put 2 and 1 together because they're pretty similar. I completely leave out 3 altogether. I didn't like 3. But I'm really enjoying 4. I'm like really into 4. And you know, it's got some really interesting storylines. I think it does representation well. I think it does tell stories about these people and about different groups well. I just think, as you've said, it just becomes super bloated with the characters in season 4 that I think actually you could have left them out. You could have left some of them out. And for some of them, I think it's just representation for representation's sake. And I think that's where you lose people. That's where people go, why are you doing this? What's the point of doing this? Whereas actually, if you give these people a voice, you don't just give them like positive storylines because it's all got to be brilliant. You give them something in which it has to, where you empathize with the character to the point because they are living a human story. That's where you start to create a more inclusive and more understanding society. I think that's really, really important. You're not going to make me feel, I'm sorry, but you're not going to make me feel empathetic and sympathetic towards a character that has a conversation with another character and talks about gender transitioning and going, oh, it's so annoying because the NHS make me wait for so long when people are waiting for cancer treatments and, you know, like life-threatening ailments. Like, for me, that personally, that doesn't sit right with me and doesn't send the right message to someone like me who is maybe still new to some of these ideas. And I'm not saying I'm discriminatory or against any of the ideas, but I will watch a show like this to learn about it if it does it in the right way and it sends the right kinds and it does it in a more authentic way.
So what are you going to give this?
It's a 4 at the moment for me.
All right, 4 for season 4.
There is literally.
If you had the whole 4 for the season, what would you give the series?
It's nearly a 5. It's brilliant. Apart from season 3 is like a 2, and there's one episode in this season. I think it might be season. It's when Eric goes to the club, and him and Otis. It's a 1 out of 5.
Okay.
I just didn't like it. I didn't like what it was trying to do. I get that.
Is this a recommended? Would you recommend me to watch this show?
I think you would really enjoy it.
Okay.
I really think you would enjoy the Maeve love story with Otis. I think you'd enjoy the fact that Otis has a bit of a love story. There's lots of different love stories here for different kinds of people. And I think it does a really good job of representation most of the time.
Okay. Right, should we move on to next? We've got...
Hang on. So hopefully I won't be cancelled after that.
Shall I just do mine all quickly? My 3, or are we going back and back and back?
Yes, because then I can do 2 quickly as well.
Yeah.
Or we do quick one like we
All
usually
right.
do.
So I watched
finish up with
today, just before coming, I thought I'd watch a new film called Totally Killer on Amazon. It's an Amazon original movie. It's got...
See, you should tell me to watch things like that.
Kierna Shipka from... I think I've said her name, Kierna Shipka. She's from Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Did you ever watch that Netflix show? She was in Mad Men as well. Really good.
Sabrina, you talking about, sorry.
Sabrina, the Chilling
Yeah, I
Adventures.
didn't like
So
Sabrina.
she's the main actress from that. Yeah. And then she was in Mad Men as well as a child actress. She's actually been in a film called Let It Snow, which I really enjoyed. It's like a Christmas movie on Netflix. Have you seen it, Let It Snow?
I nearly watched this.
Well, Let It Snow.
I nearly watched Totally Killer.
Oh, Totally Killer, yeah.
I nearly watched it. Oh, I should have done it.
I enjoyed it.
I watched something else. Oh, I watched Evil Dead. I might review Evil Dead.
So I watched Totally Killer. I think it came out this weekend. Anyway, I just saw it. I just saw it come up, and I thought, oh, we'll give it a go. I love slasher movies, so there's a few. I love Halloween, Friday the 13th, Happy Death Day. Have you seen Happy Death Day?
No, I'm not that into slasher films, apart from Scream, obviously.
A Scream, yeah.
Scream's
So
the best.
I love
Scream's the
anything like that
best.
where there's two other slashers. There's one by Eli Roth coming out called Thanksgiving, which looks really good.
Oh,
Can
he's
you
good.
get the trailer up quickly, just while and I'll talk over it. Because Thanksgiving,
if you promise to actually
I will
talk
talk
through
over it. So there's two films coming out, two slasher movies. I can't remember the name of the other one.
Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving. The other movie is called. It's A Wonderful Life. A Wonderful Life.
Ooh.
Yes, I like it. It does.
Is this going to be like Red Bang? Is this Red
I
Bang
don't
vibes?
probably.
Because I can't put it on.
I mean, yeah, it looks very fun, like a fun sort of horror movie.
Eli Roth is. I watched Hostel recently, actually, and it was. Oh gosh, okay. let's put it up there. So we're watching the trailer. We're gonna take it off the visuals because someone's just prepared a meal. All the fruit and veg were there, weren't there? All the veg was there, and then the meat was. Okay.
It's got looks like there's quite a good cast in it.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
It's got that guy, and it's also got the guy from. It's got the guy from Him.
The guy from Him. People might not be the guy from
Dr. McDreamy
from
or
Grey's Anatomy. Oh, okay. Let's go back to the scene.
It
looks like V for Vendetta.
Yeah, I was just
gonna
say that's why I saw this and I was quite excited by it.
She just had her fingernails.
I just love this sort of film.
That's
for
very
Halloween. It's giving me Halloween vibes. Halloween, Scream.
But they were with their phones out and they were all looking at their phones.
Yeah, it's basically he's out for revenge. Something to do with that.
Oh no!
Yeah,
no!
You know what's gonna happen?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jason. PC. This looks great.
Oh,
See, I'd much rather watch something. Well, I'd much rather watch something like this over Saw.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm
Have
really
you seen the
intrigued.
Did you see the new Scream, by the way? The one that's in New York.
No,
you
not
need to
really.
watch that. It was really good. I enjoyed it.
I'm loving this trailer.
Yeah, it's very.
Do you know what I like? Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm not putting. But the baddies kind of look is awesome.
Yeah.
And that kind of
V for Vendetta vibes.
It has real V for Vendetta vibes, but it
And
also
there's a
has
lot of. I mean, you can't hear that.
like Amish kind of
Yeah.
look to it. And I do love a mask. I think masks are back.
Well,
she's about to get oven cooked. Oh,
yeah,
man.
so that's coming out in November. You've got there's another one. Can you type What a Wonderful and then some murder or something? Wonderful. It's like a wonderful.
Wonderful.
Oh no! What's the one?
What a wonderful.
What's the?
Is this what you
A
want?
Wonderful Life. Oh, A Wonderful Slice. I think no. So I think it's A Wonderful Slice.
This is what you want, mate. Is this what you want?
You're gonna have an advert or something.
This is what you want.
I see trees of
I think
green,
this should go over that trailer of him just kidding.
red roses too. I see them bloom
I'm sure that's it.
for me and
I'm
you.
keeping this though.
And I think to myself,
Was it one of? What a wonderful slice.
I think it's A Wonderful Slice.
Yeah, but we're gonna spend the whole time trying to find. Oh god.
I I see skies of blue,
But do
Is that any good?
clouds of white, the bright blessed day.
no, not what
Dark
wonderful,
sacred
wonderful
light.
slice. I think
No,
that's
you
it.
said what? You said what?
Oh
I
yeah, I know. I think it's.
Hang on, listen.
What a wonderful world.
Volume down, 'cause otherwise you're not going to hear anything what we're saying.
The colors of
sure
the
it's
rainbow.
Because it's a wonderful life, and it's a
Pretty
play on
in the
that.
sky.
Slice.
I feel like that's it.
Also on the faces of people going by,
Yeah, not
just
a wonderful
come up-
slippery thing.
shaking hands.
What a wonderful slicer.
How they do.
Type in a wonderful slasher and just see what comes up. Wonderful slasher.
There's no point in us spending the whole time.
I know, but I'll be able to tell you.
This is just embarrassing.
Yeah, but you're not typing it in properly. That's it. A
What a
wonderful
wonderful
knife.
knife.
It's a wonderful knife. That's it.
Joel McHale in it.
So this looks more like Happy Death Day vibes. You could probably put this on.
I don't want to put the volume on. We don't want the volume. We don't want the volume in it. Oh, it's got the guy.
It's got
Guy's so annoying.
Justin Long.
Justin Long, and he is in a film that I really enjoy. A Barbarian. Have you seen
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Oh, there's blood again! Why is there always blood?
Because it's a
Can I just
slasher
say?
movie.
Yeah, but can I just say?
Yeah.
Have you seen Barbarian?
Yes.
What do you think of it?
That was really good.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you think the Skarsgård guy was the weirdo?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah. I think he did a really good job just doing a 180.
Well, just him being him, you're like, you're a bit weird.
Yeah.
I like that one. That was a good one.
Anyways, carry on watching this.
That I want to compare to Evil Dead, because Evil Dead I didn't really like. I'm not putting this up on the screen.
No, that's fine, but it's another mask.
I don't like the.
It's not as you basically
The look is not great. Oh, she's dead. Oh, they're gonna win. They're gonna win. It's Justin Long.
Yeah, but it's. Have you seen Freaky?
Freaky Friday. I get that we're trying to do. I guess.
So basically, it's a play on A Wonderful Life where she wishes that she didn't even exist or something, or that she hadn't killed the guy or something, and then
And I bet you the bad guy's her.
No, the bad guy is him again, but she's basically got to stop him. Oh, I don't know. This is what I'm getting from the.
I reckon this is going to be like a PG-13 vibe, 12 rated.
But no one knows who she is, basically, and that he's alive again, the murderer.
Oh yeah, because we know it's him.
So we know it's him.
Okay.
So it's a bit different to a normal slasher because you know who the slasher is. The
Right.
killer.
And but why can't she just tell everyone that it's him?
Because no one believes her because she doesn't exist.
Because
She's
she
like-
doesn't exist.
She does exist, but her. She,
No one trusts her.
Because no, she wished herself out of existence. Like no one knows her, so like no one believes her. So I think it's like an alternate reality or something.
Justin Long looks really fake.
Yeah,
like it's
no,
had
he's
like
done-
a lot.
It's supposed to be done up like that, I think. Anyway, so there's that slasher's out. You've got that out, and so
What
anyway,
a wonderful knife. We also have Priscilla,
yeah. So anyway,
which looks good as well.
anyway,
Anyway, I don't need to do that. About.
I watched Totally Killer.
Can Spurs challenge for the title?
We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about
Sorry, I just saw
films.
that come out. Oh, hang on.
Totally Killer.
The Toxic Avenger. Now this is more my vibe. This is more my like
Peter
grindhouse,
Dinklage. Oh, it's yeah.
grindhouse
Peter Dinklage is the,
violence.
Is the Toxic Avenger? Have you seen the original Toxic?
Yeah, I'm
Avenger?
definitely not putting this on the thing. Yeah, it's weird that they like this stuff's coming back into like.
You know,
cult.
there was an animated series, the Toxic Avenger.
Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah, we probably should be talking through this, but
yeah. I mean, I haven't.
I'm
seen
really
this.
confused as to how weird this trailer is and how it literally is.
Elijah
There's
Wood's
actually
in, you've seen
no-
Elijah Wood's in this, and he looks like the Penguin.
But I don't get this. Is this the trailer?
Yeah.
But what's happening? Oh, there we go. We're finally at the trailer.
No, yeah. I think that was a lot of build up to it.
Oh, here he comes. Is that Peter Dinklage?
Yeah, and that was it. That was the trailer, I think.
That's the word. Oh, hello. Oh my goodness. Jacob Tremblay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Violence. Yeah. I don't like that this trailer's been full of stuff that's nonsense.
Yeah, but I think they probably don't want to give too much away.
It's pretty. Every scene is like
So anyway,
crazy violent.
I love a slasher.
Where were we?
I love a slasher movie.
we were
We're
literally
talking about Totally Killer. I'm trying to bring it back to that.
I know. Keep talking. Damien.
Yes.
Totally Killer. Talk to
Totally
us.
Killer. I watched that
No,
today.
not Toby Killer.
Totally Killer. I watched Totally Killer today. It was an Amazon original movie, slasher movie, very similar to what we just saw. It was a cross between Happy Death Day, Scream, and Back to the Future. So there's like time travel elements. It was an enjoyable film. It's an easy like slasher to watch.
Will I be annoyed if you watch it because it's rubbish? Because I really want to. I kind of want to see it.
I think you'll find it rubbish. I think it was an
Okay.
easy background. It was an easy thing to watch while I was just hanging out at home. I wouldn't say it's nowhere near in the top tier of Scream, Halloween, anything like that. I would say like Happy Death Day is still more enjoyable. But it was an easy.
What did I watch? Truth or Dare? Do you remember Truth or Dare?
Yeah, that's Blumhouse.
Yeah.
But this film was okay. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I'm probably gonna say 3-star.
3. Yeah. Sounds
Yeah,
like a 3.
it's not a 3.5. It's just a bang on 3.
Okay.
I think the acting is a slightly wooden in it, but I think for an Amazon, when you get those sort of Amazon made for TV sort of movies, they're gonna max out at 3. But I enjoyed it.
Pick one. Pick a hand. You've picked Gen V. I watched the first 3 episodes of Gen V. 4th episode's just come out this week, so I'm looking forward to watching it. Gen V is the spin-off of The Boys, which I love. The Boys.
Yeah.
Because The Boys is no holds bar. If superheroes are real, some of them, if not a lot of them, would probably be absolute arseholes. And this is what if they were at uni, basically. Very simple premise, but the quality's still there. Quality's still interesting. Still very offensive. It's still very out there. One character can use her blood to kill people, and in order to actually get the blood out, she has to slit her wrists.
Wow.
One character gets really small. I think actually before I say that, I think it does venture a lot into like self-harm. I think there's a lot of like themes to do with that. I'm not quite sure what it means yet. But like one girl has to like throw up a lot to get small, like to become like Ant-Man vibes. But in order to do that, she throws up. And then when she has like the meeting to be like a superhero with the mother's that kind of like beauty pageant like 4-year-old. You know, like the beauty pageant mothers of like 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
And they're a bit weird and they're like could do anything. You know when Borat like interviewed those mothers with the babies and he was like asking those really inappropriate questions and then they're like, oh yeah, do everything. And she was like that. She reminded me of that kind of vibe, and that she would like harm her child in order for her child to be famous and stuff. And so there's that element that goes around there. There's also like an element of politics, like with all of the boys stuff, in which like things aren't quite the way they should be and the way they are. I find it really a fascinating narrative, and I think it is definitely worth a watch. It's also a 4 for me. I had a really good time with series this week.
Yeah.
Series are back. I hate series. I'm a film guy,
I know.
but series are back.
Is it better
man.
than The Boys?
It can't be The Boys, man.
But
Homelander, come
yeah.
on. I'd say Homelander is the best thing in The Boys and one of the best things out of any TV show ever. Like I think he's that good. I think the gratuitousness of Gen V, like The Boys, can be off-putting to people, and sometimes unnecessary. I think this is what I was talking about earlier. I think they push woke things, but then also take the mick out of it. And in terms of how like some of the characters are so like woke and like aware of life and aware of like cancellation and stuff like that, but they're also such poor turgid people themselves.
Yeah.
Which I quite liked. I like that there's a balance to that and how people can be like completely hypocritical in their viewpoints and how they view some things and the others. And I genuinely think that in Gen V, it's a genuine like writer's decision. And I love that about that. And so yeah, it's a 4 for me. Definite 4 for me. I've got 2 more, but yeah.
We'll do quick little list.
Yeah, one more. Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
right.
I didn't mean to.
So,
yeah.
just watch the Beckham
I
documentary.
just saw your eyes go like.
Yeah, I'm need to wrap up. Beckham documentary, really enjoyed. I think it's obviously going to paint a very positive picture of him. But watching that documentary back, you were in South Africa at the time, but obviously in World Cup '98, I remember that I was 9 years old, and I remember when Beckham got sent off. And at the time, I remember him getting booed and stuff by people. But from watching that documentary, I forgot how young he was. When that happened, he was only 23 years old. And the amount of abuse from the tabloids, from everyone that he got when he got sent off, which, to be honest now, one, it wasn't a red, but two, mental health-wise, they had people burning effigies of him. There was someone had a dummy, him hanging from I think it was on the front page of The Sun, like someone hanging a model of him and stuff like that. And you just wouldn't get away with that now. And I'm sure they do it to make you feel sympathetic towards them and stuff, but I did genuinely feel for him. And you forget how young they were when they actually had kids, and they're only in their early 20s. He was only 23, 24 when he had his son. And from their perspective and seeing it from their side with the press and everything, I mean, it's tough. I know it comes with fame and everything, but I thought it was a really fascinating documentary. And also, it's pretty cool that he comes from Chinkford, where I grew up. So. And
then he lived in Hertfordshire. And his wife and their sons went to the restaurant that I was waitering at, and I served his kids food.
You did.
And she was right, like next to me, making sure I didn't drop the food on the kids.
Who Victoria was?
She was, yeah, right next to me. Yeah.
So no, I definitely recommend watching the documentary. I thought it was really good.
Stars.
4 stars.
4.
I
Got another 4-star for you.
There were bits which were probably glanced over, but you're always going to have that when it comes from the perspective of the person doing it when they're actually involved in the documentary process. I really enjoyed it though, so it was a very fascinating watch. I watched all the episodes on Friday.
It's a pretty 4-star night, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, go on.
Sorry, go on, mate.
No, go on.
I thought it was short reviews. So.
That's my short. You got one more?
Oh,
short
I got
review?
2 more actually. I said I got 2 more.
Oh, I'll do 2 quickly then, and then you finish off. Yeah.
No, because we do 1 each.
Well, go on then. You do yours.
I'll do 1 more.
Yeah, go on.
We'll keep having the
Go
same
on.
conversation. I watched the first episode of the Continental. 1 hour 27 minutes, baby.
There's only 3 episodes, isn't there?
Yeah. Unlike Sex Education, where you have to, that's like the TV series, right?
Mm.
You know it's a TV series when it's like characters, all about the characters, right? And you used to watch Smallville, it's all about the characters. Like Friends, like every series you watch. But TV series these days have developed to the point where plot and like the storyline is very, very important. And I think like The Sopranos changed that a lot. Obviously, Sopranos is a lot about characters, but it's about like the narrative, long form narrative, right? They become more like films, and TV and films become more like series. Like the Marvel franchise has become like a long TV series, hasn't it? Your face. You're so not interested in what I have to say. It's really depressing. This is what you look like.
I'm tired. I just think.
I was mouthing off some swear words because we can't say them. But yeah, mate, I'm getting. Really watch it. Did you like John Wick?
Yeah.
I really recommend
Mel
you watch.
Gibson's in it, isn't he?
I really recommend you watch it because it's really great, bud. It's got
Great
really high.
effects.
It actually has really great high production value.
Yeah.
Really good action. The first action scene, I reckon, it's one of those series, right? Oh yeah, it's one from John Wick.
Yeah.
I think they did a really great. They made a really great decision. The first scene's action scene. It's proper like John Wick 4, mate.
Is it produced by the same company?
I don't know, probably. But it's quality.
Yeah.
It's got that camera movement stuff that goes on, which I really like
Well,
as
you
well.
love all about
Oh,
you love all
but
that.
from that first 10 minutes, I was like, oh. and then it continues the world. It starts the world building from obviously in a prequel sense, and I really liked it. I was really surprised at the end of the episode because something happens, and I'm like, oh gosh, I thought it was going to be something else. It follows Winston. You remember Winston?
Winston, yeah.
And he even tries the voice of Winston.
John Wick.
Yeah, John.
He
I've been waiting for you,
talks
John.
like this.
But he's younger, so he's a bit like, I'm really gonna. But like he still does the little intonations, And he's little. He's not little because he's very tall, but he's the man that's at the thing. He's in it.
He died, you know that.
I know, but he's younger versions in it as a younger character. What else is it? It's really great. It's really great. I really like it.
Would a young John Wick turn up? Was it too?
I don't think so. But I watched the first episode and I thought, you know what? I like this. And I kept saying to Alex, this is really good. She's doing shit.
So are you going to give
it?
4
to start. It's great.
What is it on Amazon?
I really recommend it, yeah.
Oh, I'll give that a watch.
I recommend all of this. And actually, I might watch some
I'll download it and watch it on the train tomorrow on the way to Arsenal.
You'll be very surprised, I think, at how good it is.
I started Loki. Oh, I watched Ahsoka. I finished Ahsoka. I know you're rolling your eyes. I finished Ahsoka. I enjoyed it. 3.5 stars. I'm not going to go into it that much because you didn't watch it, and I know you're not going to want to watch it.
I might. I didn't even watch. I didn't even watch the Mandarin season 3. I'm really out of the Star Wars. Like I said, sci-fi for me is boring, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on. Tell me why it's so average. You were so keen on Anakin Skywalker.
No, I love the fact that Anakin came back into it. I think if you're a fan of the prequels, it's basically a love letter to the prequel and the animated, the Clone Wars and Rebels. It's basically a love letter to that. My thing where I'm saying it's 3-star, I think if you're not a fan of those,
only a 3.
No, it's about 3.5. I think if you're not a fan in Star Wars, for instance, like you, who doesn't know know those characters and that background, I think it's a bit of more of a niche compared to what you normally have with Star Wars. So you sort of need to know the background of these characters to be invested. Otherwise, you're a bit like, who's this character? Where's he come from? Who's this Thrawn character? You wouldn't have a clue who he is. It's not like a Darth Vader or something like that. So I know what you're doing. You're doing a Damien looking off into the distance.
I'm actually thinking. I'm wondering whether the microphone I use in this,
is this one?
Is the same one as yours.
It's got a dent in it, so it might do.
There you go. That's me, by the way.
You need to go right up to the camera.
About a stone lighter, maybe 2. Gigging when I was younger.
So yeah.
Still couldn't sing then.
I think with Ahsoka.
Sorry, I've just got.
I do an
ADHD moment. You fall asleep.
I think Ahsoka it's great, but I think it's has a niche, and if you don't know the background of these characters, then I think you're not going to be as invested.
It relies on, what do you call it?
So for me, I've really enjoyed it. I've wanted to watch it every week. So I'd probably...
It relies on nostalgia.
Yeah, it relies on nostalgia, but also you knowing characters that if you're not into the wider world of Star Wars, you're not going to have a clue who these characters are. I mean, I only know because I've watched the prequels.
Does the Mandarin turn up?
No.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
The Mandarin? You mean the Mandalorian? The Mandarin, that's the evil guy from Shang-Chi.
I want that. Sorry. Okay.
Then just another quickly Disney one is Loki. No.
It's my turn now. We won one.
Yeah, but you're going for about half an hour. I'm just going to literally say Loki.
I'm literally, after this, I'm going to get the times out of how long I spent on my Continental one and how long you spent on this.
Because you interrupt me and you're looking off at a photo, then you start going...
Because I'm getting involved in your... I'm interested in you.
At least I'm pretending to listen
At least you're like this. I am listening to you. I was just looking at that and I was like, that looks like my microphone. That's all.
I just want to say
I'm really looking forward to watching this Loki. Even...
Are you?
Despite myself... It's the one that I actually enjoyed from the previous.
I watched the first episode today and I was like, this is not enjoyable. I've lost interest in Marvel. Honestly, I think you're going to be disappointed.
Great theme.
I think you're going to be disappointed.
Great theme.
What?
The song is great. The opening theme song.
To Loki, I can't even remember what it was.
Oh, it's this.
I'm so disengaged with it at the moment.
It's actually
I
made.
was like, whoa.
She was on like Britain's Got Talent or something ridiculous, and she's now got to this point. Oh, theme. Oh, it's brilliant. It's got the whole. Oh, you'll recognize it. Wait, what does it say? Glorious version. Are they going to show me like?
Big glorious.
I'll put it further on. I like it.
I mean, I watched it and I just think
What song do you want for the end, by the way?
Spring by Ed Sheeran.
So you can talk for ages and then.
So yeah, I watched it. I thought,
Wait, hang on, we done double Ed Sheeran.
yeah.
Oh, it's just the
Bookend.
autumn album.
Yeah,
No.
I have to say,
We'll do a review on that in
I
the
was
end.
really, I've been,
Can we talk about that later then?
yeah, go on.
Can you talk about Loki now?
So Loki, from what I saw
Good.
in the first episode, I was like 2.5, 3 stars.
Are you going to revisit it?
I will watch it because I'm hoping it gets better.
Should I wait for like loads of episodes to come out and watch it all together?
After the first episode, I was like, I don't really care. I came out of
Jonathan
it.
Majors has come out.
Huh?
Jonathan Majors is in it.
No, he's not really. No,
he's
he's not really in
so-
the first episode.
He's so scary, even though Ant-Man beat him.
Oh, exactly.
Oh,
Do you know what?
Quantumania
Do you know what?
just
That's
ruined
part-
the
that's-
Marvel MCU.
That's part of it. I think that's part of it. They're trying to build him up as this, like,
So I did see
scary.
one thing.
They're trying to build him up as this scary character. I'm like, the guy
that's
got
true.
beaten by a load of ants in Ant-Man. I really don't care.
So I did see one scene where Loki like talks about Kang,
Yeah.
and it was like really good scene. I was like, oh, it's quite a good scene. You must know what it is because you watched it.
Yeah.
And then like someone had like the tweet caption above like, we saw this guy got his ass kicked by
Ants.
ants.
Yeah.
He's like, great scene, but the guy he's talking about is pretty powerless.
Exactly.
Like Quantumania, man. Like,
But that's-
it's such a bad film.
I think they massively dropped the ball with that because they've ruined Loki. I really loved Loki season 1. I really enjoyed
Oh,
Loki.
you did
I
as
really
well.
liked Loki season 1. And I thought
I thought you weren't that interested.
No, I really enjoyed the first season, and after how rubbish the Marvel films have been recently, and now Loki, I just think like this.
Guardians
is
3 was
pointless.
good, mate. Don't tarnish Guardians.
No, it's not. you
Don't tarnish
can't-
Guardians with your
I don't-
anti.
no.
You've created an unconscious bias now
Guardians
against superhero films.
Guardians was probably the best of a bad bunch of Phase 4. You know, really, I think if you compare it to prime Marvel up until Endgame, it's not fit to lick the boots of some of those movies.
I like that quote.
Just-
Lick the boots.
Lick the boots.
Okay.
So look, I mean, I will carry on watching Loki, but I wasn't impressed by the first episode. I can't give it a review score yet because it's only one episode in. And go with your review.
I watched Evil Dead. I was
Which
really
one?
excited.
I
The
saw-
new one.
I watched that too.
Oh, cool. We talk about it then.
Yeah.
Great.
Mm.
Well, we haven't reviewed it, so I thought we could review it. Okay. And we can add it to Letterboxd. I was really excited. What I was really excited is because I flipping loved.
The original.
No, the 13 version.
Oh, the 2000.
Oh, scared me.
Yeah.
I'm a bit weird with like that, don't I?
Proper.
Oh yeah. So Sam
on
Raimi's versions are cool, but they're a little bit dated now. You have to like have loved it when you were younger to like
Yeah,
love
it's
it
like
now.
a lot of movies.
So I watched that like obviously for the first time I watched Evil Dead 2. I think I was like 22, and I was like, this is a bit goofy. I think I was in like a mate. So my mate,
Yeah, you know the second one's just a remake of the first
I
one.
know,
Yeah.
'cause I've watched both
He's
now,
only
but
got on a better budget.
I was at my mate's house and he was like, just watch whatever DVD you want because he was working at a school and I was on holiday, so I was just like
Yeah.
chilling. And I was like, oh, this looks great. It's an 18, because it was cool. Ooh. I think I was 18 myself. And I watched it and I was like, this is really silly, but I liked how scary
we
the
watched
sound.
it together. Do you remember we
the
watched it on my
sounds-
flat? We watched it
Oh my
one night on
gosh, we
flat,
did, didn't
yeah.
we? Yeah, we did. It's great to watch with friends and stuff. And so I like that, but then I like Sam Raimi. And then I watched 2013 and I thought the 2013 one is criminally underrated. I don't know why people don't like it. I think it's so scary and it's got such great...
It's because people always compare it to the original.
I understand, but I feel like it's a completely different film.
Even
I
if
actually,
it- even
I
if
almost
it's a
think,
better film.
I almost think it shouldn't be like actually called Evil Dead.
Yeah, if you'd called it Possessed
But
House or
it's
something.
beautifully shot.
Yeah.
Like I actually want to look up that director because I think like there's some things that he does in that I actually want to watch it again now, thinking about it. But I loved it. Like
It's
I
on
really loved it.
Netflix.
I could hardly finish it. Like it was so.
So
It's so disturbing.
you
like,
you
it's not-
actually download. You paid for the movie, didn't you? And then you
No,
realised...
I watched it years
for,
ago.
No, for the new Evil Dead, you paid for the
Oh,
movie.
mate, that's a funny
and then
story, yeah.
Jason paid for the movie, and then I said...
The day before
Jason,
Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
No, but it wasn't on Netflix the night I watched it. It was Friday night, and it went on Netflix the next day. So I paid £3.50 because I'm a good paying citizen. I pay for all my films, obviously, and all of my sports and that stuff. And I bought it on Amazon. Alex had gone out because she doesn't want to watch scary films with me.
Oh,
And
Jason, your maid is back.
we're nearly finished. We got a couple of we actually on our last review.
Alex, do you want to come on for Evil Dead?
Is Fran gone? Okay.
It's midnight.
Thanks for the update. All right.
Bye, Alex.
I'm literally going to be... Can you not slam the bedroom? Can you not slam the bedroom door?
You might hear me throwing clothes across the room.
It is pretty bad. I'll do it tomorrow. No, I don't want to see it. Thanks.
You spoke to me.
Bye. Where was I? So I really enjoyed that version. Even though it wasn't... Even though I have some form of intellectual capacity to not like say it doesn't look exactly like it. Now apparently this version was gonna like promise the old Raimi vibes with kind of 2013 gore. It was gonna put it all together, and I thought, I'm so excited. I'm so up for this. I like gore. I'm a gore man myself. And then I watched it, and I'm like, okay, it'll get good. Okay, it'll get good. All right.
I didn't enjoy it.
I don't like the setting. Okay. All right. I don't like how it's shot. Okay. All right. I don't like the characters at all.
No.
Okay. All right. There's only 5 of them. That's not great because I don't know where the.
Who's going to get killed?
Yeah. And then there's a cheese grater scene. I'm looking so. And then there was the
Peephole.
peephole. No, it's not peephole, is it really? Is it peephole?
It's a peephole.
Is it called a peephole? Isn't that like a naughty word? Isn't that for like doing naughty things?
You tell me.
It's not peephole. So when you look through
It's a peephole.
you look through the hole to see who's like. You look through the little
Peephole.
glass.
Alex. Isn't the hole in a door called a peephole?
That sounds a bit naughty to me.
Isn't it a peephole? No.
No!
You know the little circle.
But you
that
can
have
peep.
in-
You can have a little peep through a keyhole, can't you?
Yeah, it's peephole.
But you can peep through a keyhole.
Peephole.
That's naughty, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah.
but okay, right.
Let's
anyway.
just agree to disagree. It's a peephole.
Really like, and I'm not having it, right? I'm like halfway through a massive pizza. It's a cheap night. No one's around. Alex is out. I'm enjoying my own company.
Yeah.
I've got a shirt on. It's just like drippings of barbecue sauce all over my. I'm enjoying myself. I'm not enjoying the film. I'm feeling a little bit tired. And then the peephole scene comes. I'm like, I like this. I like that. That was quite cool and interesting. I'm like, this is where it's gonna start getting good.
All right.
Yeah.
And then yeah.
And then the cheese grater scene happened, and then I was like, it's alright. It's a bit uncomfortable. That would hurt a little bit. And then like, I just didn't find it engaging at all. I didn't understand how some characters survived in some parts. I didn't know how. And then like the ending where like there's like the loads of blood and like that thing with
Yeah,
thing where you
the
chop
wood
up,
chopper.
wood chopper.
Conveniently in a flat car park.
I think it was very uninspired actually.
Yeah,
be
I
honest.
didn't.
It had very little like
Jay,
tension in
I
it.
watched it and I thought, wow, this is very
Good
lame.
reviews, didn't it? I just,
It was like, give
rubbish.
it 2. I'd give it a 2.
2, yeah, me too.
2 stars.
Me
I
too.
wasn't
Yeah.
blown away by it. I thought it was
Why
quite
was
cool.
it? Why was it quite well rated? Because what was a horror film that I really liked recently that I was like, that was quality. Barbarian. It's my favorite horror film for the last 10 years, I reckon. Oh, there's like quite a few A24s, isn't there? But Barbarian, I really like. Felt affected by and scared. You know when they go into the thing and like
Maybe it's because this is the sort of films that you're enjoying at the moment, horror-wise, are all psychological. Like
But
Hereditary
that
is very
Oh
psychological.
yeah, we know I like a psychological.
What's the one in the Swedish one? The Midsummer. In the Swedish Village or whatever it is.
There's a film called like Mummy's Home or something like that. No, it's not one week's home. It's where the twins, and the mum has like she has like a facial reconstruction, so she's got like that was quite good. But no, but I don't think it fits in that genre. I don't think it fits in that mold barbarian. I think it's quite like a up and down, straight killer thrasher film because it's got like.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think you like it as much.
No, I love Barbarian.
No, I'm not talking about Barbarian.
Yeah, but I think Barbarian is like that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
No, but I think Barbarian takes a while to like establish itself because the girl's got to go into the B&B.
It's trying to do the whole,
and then he's like
trying to set up. It's like it's setting up another film, and it does the whole twist is the swerve
because it turns into the moment Justin Long comes in, it turns into like a massive slasher. Actually, that only happens later, and I think it then like deserves this kind of like violence and what comes of it, whereas like. And I like the idea of that character looking after the woman because, like, it had a maternal element to it. It was very weird, but like, there was very interesting ideas. Like, I just think I don't think there was anything interesting it had to say about anything, and I find that quite like cheap for a film these days. It just didn't have anything to say.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what it wanted.
So basically, we're saying if you want to watch a scary Evil Dead movie, probably watch the 2013 movie.
Yeah, which is just criminally underrated. Yeah. I think it's great. But I put some bits of it on.
I'm going to finish this off on a 5-star review.
Oh, you weren't finished.
No, I told you I have one more. Finish off. So this is a 5-star.
I'm listening.
For nostalgia purposes.
I'm going to check my phone and
it's
see if I've
for nostalgia purposes. Are you going to time me? Did you say?
No, I'm going to check if I'm finished.
I think we should finish off on mine. I'm just.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. My tank is empty now. I'll have a sleep while you talk. No, this is a 5-star just purely on nostalgia. I went to cinema today and I went to see the 30th anniversary screening of Hocus Pocus. Yes, Jason, it's been 30 years. I loved Hocus Pocus as a kid. I used to my cousins in Carlo. When I was younger, would go over and visit my dad's side of the family, and I remember my cousin would always stick Hocus Pocus on. There's a few films from when I was younger that really remind me of Ireland and remind me of my family. The Goonies is another one. I was introduced to that by my cousins on my mum's side, but I absolutely love Hocus Pocus. I think it encapsulates everything great about Halloween. And I think it's one of those films from the 90s that if you watch, even the opening, as much as it's sort of like a comedy and it's supposed to be a kid's film, Jason, as much as it's a comedy or that's a kid's film, the opening is pretty dark. Like, they kill a kid and they get hanged. They kill a kid in the opening to be young, and they get hung as well. In the opening, you see their feet drop. And this is supposed to be like a PG kids film. These sort of stuff, and it's what I love about 90s kids films, because you would not get away with some of the... You watch Home Alone 2, those films are not... They did a remake of Home Alone recently on Disney, and it just was awful, because you just can't get away with probably what was a PG in the 90s to what a PG is now. And I absolutely love Hocus Pocus. I'm actually waking up now reviewing about this. I absolutely...
I'm just checking my films.
I absolutely love Hocus Pocus. Look, it probably isn't the best film out there. And for other people, you'd probably give it 1 star or a 2-star.
What? Why?
Because
Why would I give it 1 star?
You just would.
No, it's because what are you saying about my character?
No, I would say most people probably give it a 3-star, but for me, it's a 5-star purely on nostalgia value. I can watch that. I watch that. It's one of my films that I watch every Halloween. Reminds me of being a kid. And I think it's probably the perfect film to encapsulate Halloween for kids, teenagers, and adults who still want to feel young at heart with Halloween. So I absolutely love Hocus Pocus. I remember watching, they brought out a sequel last year after 29 years. And I can't remember it. I can't actually remember it very well. I don't think it was great. So I'll probably give that a go. But 5-star review, Hocus Pocus, and probably the next review I'll do a few more horror movies. I think I love Halloween.
Oh yes,
and I love slashers.
Maybe we have like.
I think we'll probably review. I think we should do.
We review them after the film.
So for me, Halloween. For me,
it's like a roulette wheel.
Yeah, no. For me, we have to watch Halloween 78, Halloween 2018, and then Halloween Kills. Cut the rest. That is the Halloween trilogy for me. Or you can just do Halloween 1978 and Halloween 2008. I know, but we'll be watching Halloween. So
We're watching Back to the Future as well this week.
anyway,
Tell me about the new spring Ed Sheeran album.
it was autumn. I can't remember what it's called. Autumn something.
This is spring. Oh, because the song's called.
The
Spring.
song's called Spring, but I can't. Autumn. I can't
Autumn.
remember. It was Autumn something. I can't remember the name of the album.
You're so Essex. Autumn. That's London, isn't it?
Autumn Variations.
Autumn
I
Variation.
actually love this album. I'd gone really off Ed Sheeran. His last couple of albums I haven't really enjoyed.
Holy moly, there's loads.
Oh, these
Oh,
are
no.
They're live versions.
14. So they're not like they're all original songs.
Yeah. And I downloaded the album. I listened to it on the plane to Munich, and I really enjoyed it. And especially Spring, this song, and American Town. So I think this is Ed Sheeran's like back to form for me personally. I haven't enjoyed his last album or two, so I think it was Minus. I wasn't really that fussed about.
It's interesting because Minus for me, I liked Boat. I liked
Eyes Closed.
Eyes Closed is too. Eyes Closed is the one that everyone knows. I keep dancing with my that one, yeah. Saltwater's good. The first two are good, and then yeah, you're right. Actually, it's not the best.
It's not compared to his other albums where there's hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, but I think my least favorite one. Which one's my least favorite? This one.
Oh, I know. I love Divide. Mate, Divide is brilliant.
Yeah, I feel like it was a bit playing to the audience. My two albums are is the new Blink stuff. I'm loving, which you're not loving so much, and I'm still listening to the new Jonas Brothers, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Anyway,
I'll see you later.
hopefully we'll have a bit more energy.
I'm
on
saying
the next
goodbye to you now,
podcast.
but I'm going to say goodbye to you when you jump through my window.
See you, everyone. It's the end of the song, Jason.